Hey guys, so thought I'd do a review on all three of these Echo weed eaters. Yeah, which I finally just kind of spending some time moving some stuff out of the storage building just to get this old one out, because some of y'all haven't really have seen this thing out before. This is a Echo SRM 2201. I believe it's from either it's made from 1989 to 1990. I think this particular one is a 1990. My dad bought this trimmer the same day that he bought the Lawn Boy 8461. So this was a pretty good trimmer. My dad used it commercially, and it lasted for 12 years apparently. About 8 years ago it finally crapped out on him. That's why he bought this one, the Echo SRM 2400 SB, and it's going on 8 years now, and it's still running strong. So let's do a little review. We'll start out with this one. I wasn't too sure on how many cc's this one was, and then I found out, did some research on the Echo website, and believe it or not, my dad actually thought that it obviously had more cc's than this one. Apparently this one has a 21.2 cc engine, which is the exact same engine that's in my brand new Echo SRM 225. Yeah, same engines except different carburetors. I can take a look at the carburetor. It's kind of hard to tell. It's a Walbro carburetor. Believe it or not, it's basically the exact same carburetor that's in this one. This one you can see the carburetor a lot better. This one is obviously a bit more enclosed. I'm not going to take the air cleaner off. Well, fortunately I need a screwdriver to take it off, but I don't have one on me. And of course a rubber pad right here. It has a U-shaped handle. This is obviously plastic, whereas these two handles, these are rubber. The pad right here on this one is also rubber. This one here is plastic. They both have their on-off switches right here. You can see this one obviously has a different shield on it than these other two. And I think it's also a 17-inch cutting width as well as all these other two. And I think this one has sort of almost like an older style Echo rapid loader. You just put a string in, and once it gets short you just pull it out. My dad, this ain't the original head. It just had a typical bump feed head. My dad installed this one about maybe 2 years before this trimmer crapped out on him. And I pretty much have discovered the reason on why this thing, why it crapped out. Well, one, I checked for spark, no spark. I even did a spark test from the spark plug that was on this trimmer, and apparently no spark. Here's the choke. To choke it, you just pull it straight up. If I can pull it, it's very stiff. Yep, straight up is choke, and then you just push it down for run. This one requires a 32:1 gas oil mix. And then also the second reason, and then just watch this. Apparently there's no compression. See, look at that. Well, it's got some compression, but apparently when I'm like trying to pull the rope, it's not even lifting up the unit off the ground. See, it ain't really doing that. See, look at that. Whereas this one, I can demonstrate it. See, trying to lift off. I'm kind of having a harder time pulling. That shows you that this, yeah, there it went. Shows that this unit obviously has a ton of compression, even though it's 8 years old. Yeah. And then now on to this one. This is what's called a, I think the SB means split boom. Echo also makes units like this called Power Pro Attachment Series. Doesn't have like any of the attachment. It just comes just the unit alone. And I think I don't really know for sure. It might come with just a weed eater attachment, but I'm not too sure. This one obviously came with the weed eater attachment, and then my dad bought the edger attachment, bought them separately. The edge attachment was probably about an extra $90. I think with that and then this unit came to about a total of at about $400. This unit costed him $329. I don't know how much this unit would have cost back when my dad bought it. And of course, I paid $219 for this lovely SRM 225. And yeah. This unit also uses a NGK BPM 7Y spark plug, which is the same spark plug that's in the SRM 2400 SB. This one uses a NGK BPM 8Y spark plug, which is the same spark plug that's used in my hedge trimmer and blower. Yeah, see, these both have Walbro carburetors, which I believe they look pretty much the same carburetors, and they are emission carburetors, apparently. Believe it or not, I didn't know that this one would have an emissions carburetor, even though it was built in late 80s, early 90s. This one has a Zama emissions carburetor, which I believe they're made in China. And actually, let me get a screwdriver and show you the air filter on this one. Alright, here's the air filter. Looks like a really thin mesh filter where it could actually be washable, though. You can actually just kind of clean off all the dirt and then just put it back in. Whereas these other two, let me pull the one off of the SRM 225. For these kind are obviously just replaceable. Like if they're like really dirty, pretty much just replace them. Or if they have a little bit of dirt on them, just take like maybe a clean brush and just brush off all the dirt. Alright, so I think I'll even do a cold start on the trimmers. Well, except I can't start this one, of course, because fortunately it doesn't run anymore. And since I got the air cleaner off, see, here's a better look at the carburetor. That's pretty much the same carburetor. Looks almost alike. Just almost. This one obviously looks a little bit different because it's older. Which I believe this one I think is also a Walbro. Alright. Let me put this filter back on and we'll do a cold start on the Echo SRM 2400 SB and the SRM 225. Alright, so let me move this one. We'll start the oldest trimmer that still runs, which is the Echo SRM 2400 SB. This was running on Saturday. I used it at my grandparents' house. I used it with the edger attachment on it. So let's turn it on. Put it on choke. Let me set the camera down and I'll prime it up. Alright. Give it about 5 primes. Alright. Alright. That wasn't too bad in one pull. And now the Echo SRM 225. This was also running on Saturday. I used it at home, so it's on. Put it on choke and let's give it 5 primes. And we'll set the camera down once again. Alright. Oh yeah, this thing works great now. I've had this for over a month now. It's hard to believe that. So yeah, mainly I bought this just to have a spare weed eater, since of course we got 2 working leaf blowers and also 2 working lawn mowers. Well, the Lawn Boy 10533, it does run, but even though the blade clutch on it doesn't work, so it can't cut grass with it. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do with that mower. I'm thinking about just give that mower back to my grandfather. Well, I'm not talking about this mower. Yeah, this is it right here. This is what I'm talking about, the Lawn Boy 10533. In fact, it's just a pain in the ass just trying to start it. Even though the recoil on it, it's all screwed up. So, alright. Hope you all enjoyed the video. So, thanks for watching.